What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Grab My Banner podcast. We are here. The holidays are just about over. New Year's is around the corner, and we're getting ready to celebrate that. Our Raise Energy question will revolve around that. But first, let's talk about that short that just came out today, boys, because that shit was insane. Another story of the Outlands, and this one wasn't a wimp. This was like a 7-minute, almost 8-minute long video. That was sick.
I love every bit of that short, dude. Son of a bitch, I fucking love it.
It was good.
Lit.
So cool.
I think it's the best one yet.
Yeah, and I was expecting to see some stuff. I wanted to see Blisk possibly make an appearance, but he didn't. It's okay, though, because when you get a video that's that cool and the story is that awesome, and especially a character like Pathfinder, he's just a guy that you want to watch and figure out how he got to be who he is. I mean, it makes up for it easily.
And the possible tease of a new character like that, that is fucking great.
Yeah, and honestly, if Blisk doesn't come, but they do another switcheroo like they did with Revenant and Forge, I wouldn't give a fuck. I want that. That would be fun. That would be really fun.
That'd be cool.
If this is the character we get, I'm 100% happy with that because, listen, the interactions between him and Pathfinder will be one of my favorite things this game ever has to offer.
Yeah. That was awesome. Well, let's get into the show. We've got a good one for you today. This is the lore episode. We usually don't really get too deep into lore, but we're going to fucking do it today. We got a nice little game show for you heading into the main discussion. But before we do that, make sure you follow the Grab My Banner podcast on all social media platforms, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and then go ahead and follow our Twitch, man, because we're out here. We're doing our thing. We've got our duos tournaments getting streamed. We've got our boxing tournaments getting streamed. We're just streaming sometimes just to stream, talk to you guys, hang out with you guys. Make sure you go and follow all of that. Keep up with the show. Join the Discord server because that's where most of the business goes down. That's where you can talk to all of us. Boys, let's get into the show. The Raise Energy question of the day. How would each legend celebrate New Year's, and what would their New Year's resolution be? What do you guys got?
Can we just jump into Octane?
I was going to say, yeah, we should probably do Octane. I mean, it's very easy.
Like, we should address Octane first.
It's Rehab.
Rehab.
Yeah. Well, you didn't think Rehab?
I was talking Relapse, but
I thought it was Do More Coke.
There's always two different types of people in every conversation. There's always two different ways that you can go through it.
I have a few things with Octane that I think that are on his bucket list for this upcoming year.
Let's run through it.
Well, 2020 was pretty shitty.
Yeah, it was bad.
Right? I don't think 2021 he wants to start his time out and not partying, having a good time, and running around like he does normally. So
Okay.
I don't expect him to go to rehab right off the gate.
Okay.
Stim. A lot of stim.
A lot of stim.
And I think he comes out of it hoping to remember that he has the potential to make his eyes bleed if he misses that stim.
You're hoping he comes out of this with the potential to remember the least amount possible going into 2022.
No, I hope that he remembers that isn't an outcome that can happen and that he does not strive for that, though I think he will.
Okay. Well, yeah, I mean, there's two sides of the coin. I'm thinking Rehab, get better, get clean.
What part of that yells faster, faster, faster? To you?
Yeah.
There's no part of Rehab.
Yeah.
That's the anti-Rehab slogan.
That makes a lot of sense. So no Rehab then.
No Rehab, bro.
No, the slightest.
It's about
All
doubling down. It's about building a tolerance.
doubling down.
Yeah.
Well, I think if we were going to talk about, if we were going to really relate these legends to something that real people would do on their resolution, I think Gibraltar would be the one who hits up Planet Fitness because he's fat as shit and he needs to get in there.
That or he doubles down and gets a double quarter cheeseburger.
See, I went with Kyle. I said Gibraltar is looking to gain 30 pounds this year, not lose 30 pounds. Because I feel like his power comes in his girth.
Oh, he's trying to put on mass.
He's trying to put on mass.
Yeah.
That's right.
Is he working
Yeah.
out or is he eating like 9 double cheeseburgers a day?
I'm
Could be
thinking
doing
like
both.
Gibraltar is looking to be able to sit on the ground when the Horizon ult comes out and just not be moved.
New fortified ability.
That actually makes a lot of sense. Okay. That could be muscle and fat, really. You could do the mixture of
Yeah,
both.
it could.
Really.
When you get enough layers on there, it's all the same.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I got one for Mirage.
Okay.
His New Year's resolution is to stop having New Year's resolutions because he realized that they never work out for him.
Yeah,
I can't picture him ever finishing a New Year's resolution.
not Mirage.
Except for the one that he sets where he will never set one again.
I put more pork chop, less depression. I think that's
strong.
That's a strong.
That's
That's strong New
I
Year's.
think that's good.
That's doable.
I feel like the pork chop subconsciously leads to more depression. Because they're
Depends on how you view pork chops. There's a pork chop community out there, I'm sure. I haven't seen it. big chicken guy. But I'm sure there's a community out there revolved around pork chops.
Yeah, the internet brings all kinds of people together.
I just think there's a subconscious meaning to the pork chop, to Mirage, and that's why.
I like where your head's at, Brian. I like where your head's at. I like that. That's good. What do you got, Kyle?
I think that Bangalore's looking to improve herself and get an heirloom.
She might just be asking the devs for anything at this point.
I think she might ask the devs to pull the stick out of her ass.
Yeah, she just might be, devs, please make me relevant. Send it up into the sky.
Yeah, that's what they're doing.
I think Revenant and Bangalore probably have the same New Year's resolution this year, and that's to die. she's probably done with this game at this point. Every time someone picks Bangalore when I'm in the loading screen, I just, you serious, dude? Every time. I just can't. She's almost as bad as Rampart.
It's one of the saddest falls from grace in this game because it's like
Bangalore
was so good.
She was so good.
And
she was like, we thought she was going to be cornerstone.
If you took Bangalore out of the game for like a month, I probably wouldn't even notice.
I wouldn't even know she was gone, bro.
That's sad because I like her. Like I think she has a great character model, but like they're just not. It's been a long. There's just other characters who are better. Anything would help. Anything would help. I had a good one for Rampart. Make shields that don't get destroyed after one literal bee flies into it, especially when it's getting built.
Yeah,
because when they get fortified, they're fine. But her shields, it is the easiest thing to destroy when a Rampart's struggling to get set up.
Listen,
it's the funniest shit in the world.
When someone the size of Wraith punches a shield, an entire fucking brick wall, and the shit just bursts into flames, you got an issue with your fucking design.
Yeah,
there's some problems there. It's not good. I also put down that Bloodhound doesn't know what a New Year is. They get freaked out every time they see one of those poppers. They don't like that.
Pulls out the knife. And
literally Beast of the Hunt runs away.
I had make friends with a different animal than the crow.
Yeah,
I really do. What's the Disney princess talks to all the animals? I know Kyle will know.
You're fucking me. Is it Shrek?
I think it's Snow White.
Did you just say Shrek?
What? No, he's talking about Fiona from Shrek.
Fucking Shrek.
This fool just said Shrek.
Yeah,
bro, Shrek is literally Cinderella's story or some shit like, or it's Rapunzel or some shit.
Whatever, dude. I'm not that mad that we don't know. I think he needs to get. I'm going to say Snow White. He needs to get his Snow White on, where all the animals. It's not just the crow. He's communicating with the rest of them.
Yeah. So I had this written down for Caustic, and the more I read it, I'm like, this is the dumbest thing I've ever done. Caustic, I put literally have any feelings at all, but I don't think Caustic wants to feel anything now that I say it out loud.
I think Caustic feels a lot. I think it's just a bunch of negative emotions or emotions that are positive at very negative things.
Yeah. He's probably like, man, I'm really excited to do this experiment today. Some guy's like screaming in the other room. He's like,
yeah, exactly.
Doesn't he
bro.
talk about like being satisfied from the kill and stuff like that? Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, dude almost
he relishes the kill.
If you listen to him when he's diving out of the airship, it sounds like he's about to come just almost dying himself.
Like, literally, he's like, yeah, right? He's like,
oh, yes, Dad.
What's one of his favorite lines? Like, it's, I don't care who gets the kill as long as I get to watch them die or something like that.
Fantastic.
If Caustic and Revenant formed a death metal band and they were the writers of the songs,
that would be lit.
Those would be the darkest songs.
Yeah.
It'd be
Shocker.
sick.
Wraith is the singer and the band is Evanescence.
And then Lifeline's definitely the drummer. Lifeline's
I mean, I feel like that's a mandate. Like,
yeah. I think
she's the one that just keeps it from being so sadistic that people actually like it.
That's very true. Or they started the band with Lifeline, and then once she saw the lyrics, she was like, "Oh fuck, I gotta get out of here. I gotta get out of here." I think the legend who's on their way to the best start to their New Year's resolution is Wraith. Hers is to grow the OnlyFans, and I think she's doing great.
How could she not, man?
I mean, really?
Yeah.
Well, those dead eyes probably don't help.
We've always believed that Wraith has an OnlyFans. We just haven't found it yet.
100%. She probably does like live cam stuff where if you do enough tips, she just portals to your house.
The dimensional rift just opens up in your room. You're like, what the fuck?
Also, she probably wants to stop getting reworked.
Yeah.
Because that's happened every patch for the last, 5. Watson doesn't do New Year's resolutions because that's a little bit too exciting.
Dude, false, bro. Watson's
she
fucking
does.
New Year's resolution this year is to cut the bangs. Because it's time.
No.
It's time.
Watson's
New Year, new me.
No. Watson's New Year's resolution is to walk outside at least 4 times during daylight.
Yeah.
Yep. That's pretty solid.
Dude, she's not that boring,
She's
man.
boring.
She's a cutie 3.14.
Well, she's also very pale. So
3.14. Did you really just reference pie in this shit?
She's a
cutie
cutie
pie.
pie.
That's
Yeah.
good.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I missed that.
So cute.
Wow, that was big
So
brain
cute,
right there,
dude.
That was good. That was
Okay.
You
good.
get look at. I mean, I just love. I could sit there and just get a little tingle out of every time she puts a fence up and her hand does that dainty little thing where the sparks come out.
Oh, yeah.
Oh fuck, dude. Not boring, just dainty. I don't know why you
Watch
guys
her-
think she's boring.
Watch us be entirely wrong about Watson. She's an absolute fucking, animal.
Dude, Watson's a freak.
Super,
she's a French freak down
listen,
deep.
2 drinks in, she just turns into a fucking freak.
Yeah, I can see it. No, I can't actually.
Yeah,
I
you
can't.
No, when I say freak,
Yeah,
I mean,
you can.
she turns into a party animal.
A
4
party animal?
That's
4
not what
drinks
I
in,
had
she
in
gets
mind.
fucking... No, yeah, I know where your mind's going. I'm trying to stay
She's
out of the
French,
gutter.
bro.
They invented the...
Lewd.
I don't have to say it.
Yeah.
They invented it, though.
They invented the
Yeah.
job.
The Menage. All right.
I don't have
Hold
to say
on.
it.
Well, to stick with the aesthetic changes, I think it's time for Loba.
That's fitting.
Let me see where your mind's at.
Wait, that's fitting.
where Troy's at.
so moist. I think it's time for Loba to lose the eye wings. It's so middle school, man.
Yeah.
You can't have hips like that and then have a bunch of middle school makeup on
Listen,
your face.
Yeah.
my wings are kinda
Well,
hot.
Yeah, it's
She
like,
was
dude,
never taught how to do makeup.
I know, man.
correctly.
She's still cooking
Well,
dinner in the
her
easy
mom
bake.
got capped in the head.
Okay, we
Man.
talked about the characters' New Year's resolutions. What about us for the show?
For the show?
For the show.
For the show.
For the show.
Okay.
I'm gonna take a note from my for the show,
For the show.
For the show.
not for us.
For the show.
What are
For
we
the
talking
show.
about?
Yes, for the
Okay,
show.
for the show. Let's see.
We're talking for the show, right?
Yeah, for the show.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's for the show.
I was not prepared for that question.
I'm gonna say I'm gonna win the duos tournament.
That's
Yeah, bitch. We are going to win the
We
duos
are gonna
tournament.
win the duos tournament.
Thank you.
Troy, you got anything?
Yeah, definitely. I think that we need to make sure that we're on time for the boxing tournament every week.
Yeah, that was fucked.
I'd say,
Last week was kind of fun.
but not just us, that everybody in the community would pull together and we get this thing running real smooth. Because the more smooth we get it going, the more people get to fight. So I think that's the show New Year resolution for me. Get that efficient.
I really want to get, I really want to get the YouTube going more. I've made videos here and there, but I'd like to be able to sit down and have just ideas come in and then just start making more YouTube videos. Also, I really do like TikTok as well, so get TikTok to, we hit 15,000. I think we're at 15,500 followers by the end of next year. I'd like to be, I'm not shooting small, I'd like to be at 100,000. Oh, another one. I'd love to get some more content creator interviews too. I'd like to hear about some of these other content creators that we've been watching since the game dropped. I'd love to have some of those people on the show.
Get
so
some.
that'd be
sick.
cool.
Yeah, to get some of a couple of the bigger name actual content creators, not just someone who leaks or some of the other data miners, but some of the people who are actually
Playing.
out there playing
Yeah.
and streaming and recording and all that kind of stuff, and get their input and also get their views on how the game's running.
Yeah, I think that's attainable as well. I
That'd
think
be
we can
sick.
do that. All right, so that'll just about wrap it up for the Raise Energy question of the week. Don't forget to head on down to REPP Sports, Rep Sports, where you can find Raise Energy. Get yourself a variety pack number 1, variety pack number 2, or just get yourself a pack of 24 of your favorite flavor of that awesome sweet Raise Energy. They got the sour gummy. They've got the Apollo. They've got seasonal flavors like the Halloween one. They've
Voodoo.
got the Voodoo. They've got
Is that
everything.
Voodoo still around? That Voodoo is pretty fucking
The
fire.
Voodoo.
They might still have it. Also, they were promoting on Instagram that a new flavor is coming out very
Ooh,
soon.
I'm excited for that.
Exactly. So make sure you guys head on down there. If you order some Raise Energy and use our code BANNER for 15% off, BANNER, we will send you guys a personalized letter with all of us, all of our terrible handwriting, and you guys will get that on your way. Thank you to Raise Energy for giving us that code. Let's move on to the next part of the show. We have our Reddit discussion. And this week, it comes from us once again because lots of new stuff going on as far as lore is involved. But as far as gameplay, things have kind of stayed the same. We still got a while before we'll see anything new as far as new weapons. But we can at least speculate. And we can talk about what we wish the new weapon would be. So, the Reddit discussion this week, which gun type should come next? And which gun would you like to see head into Apex Legends heading into Season 8?
So I think we should get a light ammo LMG because then you can put the Devo back in the box and I don't have to fucking see that shit anymore.
Dude, that's so stupid. I don't understand why you want the Devo back in the box. You have to run all around the map and get a shitload of kills to have a chance at finding the turbocharger. It's not broken. It's almost as rare as getting the box itself to get the turbocharger.
Have you ever played on one of those days where the turbocharger's in the crafting place and you just see everybody with Devos with turbochargers and you just get ripped?
That's not that often, and also you can also get it.
I have another reason for... I want the same thing as Kyle, actually, that light ammo machine gun going into that heavy machine gun class.
Yeah.
I want that going in there. One, so that we have an option of each type. I think it'd be awesome to see an RPK style gun from Call of Duty, or what was it from Modern 2?
Yes.
Was it still the RPK or was RPG?
You're talking about zombies where they had the RPK in there?
Yeah,
it was Black Ops 1.
No.
Well, Modern Warfare 2, the original Modern Warfare 2 had the RPK.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
it was the AK variant.
The RPD.
RPD. That's actually the gun that I keep
AK
thinking
variant.
of. I would like something like that in this game, where it's a very fast fire rate, very strong gun, probably a faster fire rate than any of the other two, than the L-Star and the Spitfire. I would like the Devo to go back to the box, not for the reasons of the Devo being overpowered on the ground currently, but for the reason of the Devo being in the box felt better than the Prowler being in the box. And if we're having, right now the way they have it is a shotgun for close range, a sniper for long range, which, I mean, we could talk about the shotgun issue there, but I'm not going to go into that. And we have a Prowler for that mid-range. And I don't like that there. I'd much rather have the Devo in there. I feel like having a gun with a massive clip, the highest DPS potential in the heavy machine gun or in the heavy machine gun class makes the most sense to fill that slot as a fully kitted legendary weapon. To me, that makes more sense.
I just don't see how it's going to work having an LMG as a light ammo weapon. Like they would have to balance it in some weird way to where either the reload time takes a really long time or the hip fire spray is very spread out. Not just spread out like the Spitfire and the Devo, but like
you
really
also
spread out.
You also have to remember that unlike the Spitfire, you won't get the bullet stun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's a big thing. Because how many dead slides you give people when they're trying to get away?
Because you fucking hate the Spitfire, Brian.
But heavy ammo is a whole different thing. I hate the Spitfire because the Spitfire doesn't have the DPS, but the heavy ammo itself is something different.
I feel like what you guys are asking for is like an R301 with a drum mag.
Yeah, that's how I'm viewing it.
I don't want it to have that kind of accuracy.
I don't want it to have the kind of accuracy that the R301
It still needs to have a heavy machine gun accuracy where it's not like the most accurate gun in the world. It can have that heavy machine gun spread where it does spray around.
It might have to. You know what it might have to be? It might have to be like a burst weapon, like the 44 Dredge from Zombies.
No, please.
That's how they might have to balance it.
I mean,
I know you like burst weapons, Kyle.
That could be really strong, but where I worry about that is the damage output with the accuracy that could come out of that. It could be very dangerous.
Yeah,
the reload on that would have to be dreadful.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking of ways to make it balance.
I think that's how they would have to balance that. Like a burst with a dreadful reload, but a massive clip.
I felt like the burst was balancing it. Because a burst, when you're not being able to shoot it, like... Because at least with the Spitfire, that thing shoots pretty straight, in my opinion.
I don't think you've ever played with the Dredge on multiplayer, but that thing ripped people to shreds.
Oh, you liked it?
Oh, dude, it destroyed people all day.
It all comes down to if you can control that burst.
I'm good with burst guns.
Because the burst recoil, for the most part, is almost straight up. And like for the most part, in most guns, it's almost completely vertical, and that's easy to control. Look at the Hemlock and the Prowler, for examples. You can make it a little worse. Maybe it kicks a little harder or something along those lines. That's fine.
To the right or something. Who knows?
Which is, again, doable. But like if it's that same burst each time, that's really manageable at a longer range. And it becomes very like dangerous having a massive clip. So the reload on that has to be long enough for them to be able to make a true advancement on you.
Yeah.
But I think that's a very viable way to do it.
I think the main weapon meta is really balanced right now. I think Energy got a lot of cool. I think the Volt was a great addition. I think what's going on with the Havoc right now is pretty balanced. It's very strong, but the accuracy sucks, so that works at close range. I think the main weapons in every specific category make sense. So I wouldn't like to see like a light machine gun with light ammo. I think that the light ammo is serving its purpose with the guns we already have with light ammo. I would like to see more specialty weapons that have a high skill cap where we'd see content creators doing some crazy shit with it. So the bow with different kinds of arrows would be amazing. And then also I would love to see a 2-shot like break breach shot.
Oh, like a double barrel?
Yeah, like a double barrel shotgun.
That'd be lit.
But where it has specific receivers for it that will change the ammo. So like you have a receiver that will make it incendiary ammo, you have a receiver that will make it stun, but you only have 2 shots and it's a slow reload. So slightly more damage than the Mastiff, but you get specialty ammo with it. I'd love that.
It's crazy how close you two are, and it's crazy how close me and Troy are, because I literally wrote down, I want another Maverick fun gun like the Wingman, the Sentinel, specifically the bow and the 30-30. So like this table is literally split, because like he said, I've always been a big advocate of the content creation side of it. Also, having those high skill cap guns, those are so fun to watch people get good at. And it's also fun. It's like your own little side mission, aside from everything else in the game, to work on your shot with those specific guns. Because how many times have we all said, like, I'm going to work on my Wingman shot for the next week or so? Because those are the guns where it really takes, you got to take that time, go through all the sights, see which ones you like, how everything works for you with that weapon. I would love to see another weapon like that. And I didn't even think about a break breach shotgun. I've never thought of that at all, but a double barrel would be fun. That would be cool.
Fun.
I'd be okay with seeing, after like listening to you guys and doing it, I still want that LMG. Just saying. I still want that LMG. And I still would like to see another shotgun come in. I'd be okay with that shotgun being a break breach shotgun and having versatility of rounds that we could see those bows using with a standard, which would be normal shotgun ammo, or you can craft like shock ammo or incendiary ammo.
That'd be pretty sick.
I think that'd be cool to do to the bows and to that shotgun in specific.
I didn't even think about a new shotgun class, but if we had something like that, I've been wanting the Peacekeeper back on the ground for a while. I think when you picked up that Mastiff out of the box, you knew like the power that you held, and it loses that power when it's on the ground, and then the Peacekeeper can't fill that slot.
It's a different style.
It's a different style. Yeah, exactly.
Honestly, yeah. When you get the PK and you had the PK when it was on the ground, you knew what it was. It's a high burst damage gun that you could kind of pseudo snipe with it if you got the right attachments for it. Once you put that into the gold weapon slot, I felt like it kind of lost that, and the Mastiff, when it was in the box, it could hit you for like 150, like one shot. Mm-hmm. The fucking PK, the highest it hit you for is 120, and I'm like, dude, this is bullshit. Like, why is this gun? It's a gold weapon, and it just hits you for 120, and that's it.
When you grab that Peacekeeper, you don't have that feeling where you say, I have the best shotgun in the game, I have the best close range gun in the game. If I want to close that gap and fuck up this team, I'm going to do that. This game this gun does not allow you to have that option or that high ceiling.
Yeah, but that's okay. So I see what you're saying, but I agree with what the devs seem to be trying to do, and that's to make the crate not a trump card that you get sometimes and get lucky, where you can just get a weapon out of the crate and then just dump on kids that are better than you. I think they wanted the crate to be a set of very strong, unique weapons that you get the privilege to play with every once in a while, but doesn't make you overpowered. And I prefer it to be that way rather than for it to be something where if you end up stumbling upon a crate, all of a sudden you get a trump card against the rest of the lobby. I don't like that.
You're telling me the Kraber's not a trump card?
No,
now the Kraber's,
right.
The Kraber's is an exception to a degree, because the Kraber's fantastic, but the Prowler and the Peacekeeper are not overpowered.
I think Troy's 100% right, because these weapons that are in there right now, the Kraber, it does do a lot of damage, but it is a high skill gun. There's a lot of people who can't use that weapon.
Very slow reloads.
Really?
Very slow.
You have to hit your shots.
And you have to hit those headshots almost for the most part. And now you have the Peacekeeper in there. It's like a sniper shotgun, like I said.
It's a high skill, too.
It's high skill because you have to know how to use it.
I don't want Apex to have the MP5 complex that Call of Duty did for a long time, where it was like, if you're not running the M4 or the MP5, you're not playing at the highest skill level, because you can't play at the highest skill level without those weapons. I don't want that. I want everybody to have a chance with whatever they have, and sometimes you get to play with fun, unique weapons that spice it up, but don't just give you a default win.
I just think that the Mastiff is a better box gun, and I would like to see that enter the game. But if we had to have a new weapon enter the game, I'd be fine with it being another shotgun.
Troy, I wanted to get your thoughts on it since you brought it up. How would you like to see it play out? A break breach shotgun, how would you like to see it work? How would you balance it?
I would like to see it be a ground gun. I like the Prowler and the Peacekeeper in the box, so I'd like to see it be a ground gun, but I want the damage to be slightly higher than the Mastiff, so we're getting close to what the Mastiff used to be in the box, so maybe 130, 140 for a perfect hit. And then being, like I said, having receivers that will either detract from the damage but add damage over time, like an incendiary, or that would add a stun or something else that would make it so that maybe you're not using the weapon to get a kill, but because it has a wide spread, you're using it for the effect of the ammunition rather than the damage, and then switching to a primary.
130, 140 would be crazy, especially if it had incendiaries.
I think that's really high. Are we talking
with a very short range and a high damage drop off? If you miss with two
huge spread
and a long reload time, so if you miss your shot, and you're gonna pay for it.
The bolt might actually hurt it as much as it helps it.
I think the rate of fire should be as fast as you want it to be. I think it's like you can shoot both shots immediately if you want.
I don't like that.
Or like maybe you could even set it so that you shoot both at once. That'd be cool.
Okay, so
maybe one of the receivers is that it makes it so instead of it being two shots, it's both shots in one. That'd be legit. What if it was like shot in each barrel shoots in a cloud, but it has like 10 pellets. So if you're gonna get the full damage, you have to be right up in their guts. So to hit them with all 10 pellets, you have to be very, very close.
Similar to the Peacekeeper.
Yeah, and if you have the stun. If you have the stun going on, it changes it from a 10-pellet weapon to like a 3-pellet weapon. Does that make sense? So it'd be like buckshot or something, so that you can't hit a whole team with it. There's no reason why the spread and the pellet amount and any of that can't be adjusted based on the specialty ammunition. I don't think.
I think all of the I don't think anybody's right or wrong here. I think these are all like really good ideas that can change the weapon meta for the future, and I like it.
It'd be a lot of fun to watch.
Also, one thing I wanted to throw out there really quick is my favorite Call of Duty shotgun of all time is the blunderbuss, and if they ever put a blunderbuss in Apex, it'd be lit.
The other thing about a break breach shotgun is how sick it would look in Apex. Like it would just look so badass.
Would you do it as an under over so the barrels are on top, or would you do it as a side by side, like a side by
side?
I kind of want I've never seen the other one like
the
that.
under over.
Yeah, the Olympia from.
It's the Olympia from.
Oh yeah, I'd love that. I would just love if like maybe it had energy, like an energy field where it's separated at the middle and the two shots just popped up like an M1 Grand clip, and then you just put it back in.
Oh, that'd be sick.
That would be cool. I'm just thinking of all the cool ways Apex could show like reload animations and shit like that. But all these ideas are really good for the future. If you guys have any thoughts or ideas for guns that you think should be in the gun in the future, don't forget to tweet us, say it in Discord, say it wherever. Let us know what you guys think would be the best options for guns coming up in the future. Without further ado, boys, let's get into some lore talk. We're going to hit a quick ad, and then we will see you guys on the other side. All right, here we go. So, we haven't really talked lore on this podcast, guys. We typically talk gameplay, and if we do talk about lore, it's mostly from the outside, and it's like little hints here and there. We never really bring it up, but today we want to dedicate this episode to lore because there's a lot of stuff going on. Pathfinder's video was amazing. Great stories from the Outlands videos have been coming up through the last few months. Really good ones have been coming out. Lots of cool lore stuff going on. So we thought of a cool game to have for this one. It's going to be called Truth, False, or Theory. I'm going to ask these three. I'm going to say a little phrase to these three. I'm going to ask them, is this true? Is this false? Or is this just a theory? They will give their answer. And then at the end of it, we'll see who has the most tallies and who will be the winner. Either way, you guys are going to learn a lot about the Apex lore from this game because after each submission, I'm going to talk about what happened, whether it's a theory, whether it's true or false, talk about why it's true, give a little background to it. So you're going to learn a lot from the Apex lore from this little game that we're going to play here. And everybody's going to learn a little bit because there's a lot of stuff I think even people at this table aren't quite sure of yet and have never heard of yet.
I've heard it all.
No, you haven't.
I've heard it all.
Well, there's one false one here that you're not going to get. I guarantee you're not going to get it.
You guarantee?
I guarantee you're not going to get it.
I guarantee you're wrong.
I guarantee you're not going to get it, and it's going to be funny because once I say it, you're going to know, and you're going to be like, "Oh shit, yeah, you got me there. You got me there."
Okay.
All right, so let's start. So here's how it's going to go. I'm going to ask the question. I'm going to go Troy first, Brian first, Kyle last,
You mean
and
me
then
second?
Or sorry, Troy first, Brian second, Kyle last, and then I'm going to tell them what if it was true, false, or theory. So let's start here. Let me find one that I really thought was cool. Okay, here we go. Jack Cooper, the main protagonist from Titanfall 2, the main character, is Mirage's father. True, false, or theory? Troy.
That's a theory.
Okay.
Theory.
Okay.
Theory.
All three of you are correct. That is a theory created by yours truly, Wyatt Babb right here. Because if you've ever played Titanfall 2, Jack Cooper and Mirage are almost exactly similar. They say the same jokes. They almost have the same voice. I had to look it up when I played Titanfall to see if they were the same voice actor. While Cooper and Mirage share a lot of similarities, there's never been any confirmation about where Jack Cooper fits in with Apex, if at all, but Mirage's father has never been mentioned. He talks about him a few times in some voice lines. We don't know who his father is, but it would make a lot of sense to me if Jack Cooper was his father, and that would be really cool. Just for a lot of Titanfall fans, that'd be really cool to listen to. All right, next one. Here we go. Caustic and Crypto are stepbrothers. True, false, or theory? Caustic and Crypto are stepbrothers. True, false, or theory?
See, the fact that they're stepbrothers means that they wouldn't look. They don't necessarily have to look the same. So I'm going to go ahead and say false.
Okay.
Nah, false. No way.
It's
I
false.
can't
Look
see
at the
it.
fucking age difference.
I can't see it.
Yeah, it's got to be false.
All three of you are wrong. It is a major theory that came up in this Stories of the Outlands. If you look closely, let me read the description here. In Crypto's story from the Outlands, there is a scene where him and his sister are surrounded by their foster mother. There's a photo frame of them two, and as we know, Crypto's sister was believed to be dead. Later found out that she was still alive, and she was sending messages to Crypto in an Easter egg on Kings Canyon. In this Story of the Outlands that dropped today, Fight Night, that same lady is on Caustic's board, and it says, "Find Mom." So it could very well be that Caustic was born to this mother, but she abandoned him because he was a crazy psychopath and instead adopted Crypto and his sister Mila. So it is a theory. It also makes a lot of sense, too, because as we've seen, Caustic has very weird voice lines and has a weird disdain for Crypto, especially in that Season 5 very first story where we had to do the little missions.
Yeah.
Very weird. So it's a crazy theory, but it's out there, and it looks to have some truth to it. All right, here we go. Wraith volunteered herself to be a part of the Wraith interdimensional experiment. Sorry. True, false, or theory? Troy.
True.
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 You guys are all three correct again. Yeah. So Wraith, being very unclear of her powers and how she got there, she found out and discovered herself that she was fascinated, her other self in a different dimension was fascinated with the tech, and she volunteered to be a part of these experiments. And so the Wraith from the other dimension saved the Wraith from the current dimension, gave her the kunai. That's where that comes from. It's a very interesting story. If you haven't watched that Story of the Outlands, it's a mind fuck. Like, you're going like, what the hell's happening here? But it's very cool because you figure out where the kunai comes from. So that's always interesting as well. All right, here we go. Pathfinder, during his phase of unsuccessful attempts at odd jobs, was the nanny for baby Watson. True, false, or theory? Troy.
That's true.
That's true. That's why she's so cheery.
False.
Brian, Troy, you guys are incorrect. Kyle is the only one who got it right.
Oh, no.
While today's story of the Outlands was out there, and there was a little scene of Pathfinder holding a baby and being a nanny. Unfortunately, the dates were too far off. It wouldn't have made sense for him to be nanny of Watson, the little baby. But there are theories that he was the nanny for Newt, Horizon's little kid. It's just funny to think of Pathfinder as a nanny at all.
Knocking everything over.
Okay, Brian's definitely going to get this one wrong. True, false, or theory, Loba's cheeks are fake.
That's false.
Bro, that's 100% true.
See, I told you were going to get it
wrong. No. Theory, it's unconfirmed.
False.
It's 100% false. Brian's wrong because we all know that Loba's cheeks are real, and we're holding on to that forever.
Thigh to cheek ratio, 100% authentic.
All right. Gibraltar joins the Apex Games to avenge his father, who died in the IMC war that took place in Titanfall 2. True, false, or theory? Troy.
Let me really give this one some thought. You know what? I'm going to go with theory on that one.
I got theory on it. We haven't had many yet.
I'm going to go true.
All three of you are wrong. It was false. I made that up off the top of my fucking head. Okay. You guys ready for the next one?
Yep.
Here we go. The creator of Pathfinder, Amila, is Watson's mother. True, false, or theory?
Oh my gosh. Okay. The only way it could be false is if we knew for sure who Watson's mother was. I don't believe we do, so I'm going to say theory.
I say false and have a reason for it.
Okay.
Theory.
I put down theory, so Troy, Kyle, you got that one. Brian, I'll explain it real quick. So, in the short that you guys just watched, her name was Amila P. We know that Watson's last name, I'm blanking on her fucking last name, but it starts with a P. Yeah, Paquette. And they have the same accent and the voice. So this is a theory. So Amila is revealed in the Fight Night story of the Outlands as Pathfinder's creator, but it isn't confirmed she could be a co-creator as well.
So the reason why I say false is Pathfinder was shown holding a baby. If it was going to be anyone's baby, it makes no sense for it to not be Watson if it's not his creator's baby.
How does it make no sense?
He's a nanny, dude. Like, how you trust a first job? Like, you want to watch and see how he interacts with people and how he works and all that kind of stuff. Like, that would just make sense for that to be Watson in that case.
Yeah, but I don't think it...
So if that one's false, I'm saying
it doesn't
this
make
one
sense. But I'm not saying that it wouldn't make sense that, maybe somebody who was a part of his creation team or somebody that knew about Pathfinder... It doesn't have to just be her.
This fucking guy.
No, he's right though.
He's got a point though.
He's got a point because in Apex, like here, the other one is Pathfinder's dusting off the really rare relic. Like, who would trust a robot to be dusting in there?
Was it a crow?
I don't know.
It looked like a crow.
Yeah,
I think it was a crow.
Like
And I was like, damn, he
He's
could
in the
blood.
Bloodhound Shrine,
right?
like breaking shit.
Okay, here we go. True, false, or theory? Mirage had to bring in Rampart as a roommate in Season 6 because he blew all of his money on the party ship. True, false, or theory?
That's hilarious. I want that to be true. That has to just be something made up. I'm saying false.
Okay.
Yeah, I could see Mirage doing that shit. I'll go true on it.
Okay.
It's true.
Yes, it is 100% true.
Are you serious?
Yes.
So you got your wish. It is true. Unfortunately, you just picked the wrong way. But he does have to bring in Rampart as his roommate because he blew all of his cash on the ship. So, Loba has found the source code, what Rev wants to use to kill himself, and threw it in a teleporter where it's currently sitting in a place called Gridiron. True, false, or theory?
True.
True.
False.
It's true. There was a Twitter video posted by Apex a few days ago where Rev and Loba get into it in just a voice line battle. And in the battle, you hear them grunting as they're fighting. Loba comes out on top. She tells Revenant that she has thrown his precious source code through the teleporters in Olympus, and it's landed in a place called Gridiron. Another fun fact, Gridiron is also mentioned in this latest story of the Outlands with Pathfinder, this Fight Night one. So, Gridiron, a place to keep your eye on, could potentially be something in the future. Don't know for sure, though.
I would laugh my ass off if that's the next new map because they have to go there to get the fucking source code.
Yeah, that would make a lot of sense.
That would be real.
All right, let's move on to the next one. Octane lost all of his legs trying to do a dynamite jump over a famous commonplace bridge on his home planet of Pismath. True, false, or theory?
I know he lost his legs doing some sort of a explosive enterprise, but I feel like those details are wrong, and that's where you're going to try and get me, so I'm going to say false.
Okay.
I believe that's false. I know the backstory of how the devs came up with the idea for Octane, and that's pretty on point, but I know that's not exactly where it's from.
It's false because he's not from Pie-Smith.
Yep, it is false. I tried my best. I actually didn't look up any details at all. I didn't even look up his home planet. I just threw details out there. But I do know from the most recent story, the quest inside of Apex right now, he talks about Gibraltar and him are in some sort of battle, and he says, Gibraltar says to him, like, hey, you lost your legs doing this stunt last time. He's like, whatever. And it was basically jumping over a statue, not a bridge. So there's some sort of thing going on with the statue. That's how he actually lost his legs.
Oh, really?
That's what they...
I was watching a dev video a while back, and the devs had stated the idea for Octane came from when people in Titanfall would use grenades to propel themselves forward to do a speed run on a map. And they used that idea of a character blowing themselves up to become faster for the idea for Octane, and that he was supposed to blow his own legs off, and he was supposed to be one of those characters from that speed run that blew his own fucking legs off to finish the race faster than everyone else.
No, it would make sense if he did that.
He might have had to do it
statue.
over the statue. Yeah, that would make sense.
That's the concept, but it's from him trying to do a stunt.
Well, he just became less cool in my eyes.
All right, here's the next one. Caustic uses a gas mask to not only protect himself from his own fumes, but because he has a rare lung condition that makes him sick breathing the atmosphere. His gas tubes on his body are a special mixture of oxygen that help him breathe more easily and keep him alive.
Theory.
True.
Theory.
It is false. I made that up right off the top of my head, but I was so badass when I was typing it. I was like, this is sick. I'm getting people with this one. Made that up completely off the top of my head. All right. Victor Maladera, the detective in the Fight Night Story of the Outlands trailer, has been a part of the Apex Legends lore since Season 1. True, false, or theory?
Yeah, I think this is a gotcha question. I think it's true.
Yeah, I could see it being true.
It's false.
It is 100% true. He was in a submission back in Season 1 involving people trying to find Caustic for the crimes that he'd committed against all those poor people. Because he did some crazy shit. He did some.
Well, he clearly blew up a fucking lab.
He blew up a lab.
We learned
he blew up the lab because he was doing crazy shit inside the lab, and he was like, "No evidence."
I really want to see him enter the game, so I see the relation between him and Pathfinder, and him and fucking Caustic. I want all of three of us to be on a team playing that, where we have a Caustic, a whatever his name. What's his name?
It's Victor Maldera.
Okay, so a Caustic, a Victor, and a Pathfinder, all in the same fucking squad.
I think Victor makes a lot more sense than some of the characters that I've heard being brought in. But the only thing that's a little weird is I'm not sure exactly when this Fight Night Story of the Outlands takes place in the timeline. So Victor might be a little old. So that's the only thing.
Yeah, he might be old now because, Pathfinder had to come back to life, get into the games, and Caustic is like an old man now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he could be older, but still, I'm not opposed to it.
It's at least 10 years, I think.
I think Victor and Pathfinder definitely team up again because that would make sense as to how Pathfinder got his boxing down. And also, somebody had to make those adjustments to his kit, so he got the grapple, and Victor was the one that saw how good he was with using it.
I would love, at least if he doesn't come in the game, I would love to see some more shorts with him and Pathfinder together.
That'd be
Please
fun.
do that.
That'd be sick.
Yeah. I love that. Really cool. Those odd
like
job
Starsky
scenes.
and Hutch, like fucking.
Those odd job scenes,
So
I could
funny.
watch that on a loop.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
What's Pathfinder's catchphrase now?
Piss off, Scablander.
Yeah, piss off, Scablander. Like he's just
Dude, he needs to have that as a permanent voice line. I will pay money for that.
I would pay money for that.
I'll pay money for that on literally all fucking 4 of my accounts.
I don't even play Pathfinder. I'd pay money.
I'd pay money for it.
All right, this one is really interesting, and I want to see what you guys think. The reason Flyers and Leviathians infiltrated Kings Canyon after Season 2 was because Crypto destroyed a repulsion tower that kept those creatures at bay. True, false, or theory?
Why would he do that? I don't see a reason why he would do that, but I could see why people might think that he'd have the capability of doing that. So I'm going to go with theory.
Okay.
True.
It's true.
Yes, it is true. Now, the reason why he did it, Troy, was not to bring those animals in. The reason he did it was because he's trying to get at the Apex games. Like, he was trying to break in. He was trying to break into them because he wanted to. He was trying to. He hacked his way into the first on the list so he could avenge his sister, who eventually ends up still being alive. But that repulsion tower. Here's the interesting part. After Crypto launched the EMP in his introduction video, this eliminated a high-frequency noise that kept all of those animals away, thus allowing them into Kings Canyon. I thought that was cool. This is one of those examples where when you're making a game, these people think of every fucking detail, because that's insane. Like, because remember, in Season 1 Kings Canyon, they were out there. You could see them, you know, and then once the tower was...
It was at Repulsor.
Yeah, it was at Repulsor. At first... In the first little patch, it wasn't knocked down. It was just broken. It was broken, and so the Flyers came in, and then it was broken, and then that's when the Leviathians came in, which was very interesting.
Yeah,
so
I
thought it was really cool. So that was one part of the story that I thought was interesting. Okay, Octane gets his stim from his dad, who owns a pharmaceutical company. True, false, or theory?
No one's dad's going to be signing off on that.
He doesn't have to sign off on it.
I think you made that up. That's false.
I think it's true. His dad lived in the States and he's rich.
False.
It is actually true.
No, shit.
Yeah, so here's the story that Octane has a really sad story. His parents don't give a flying fuck about him. In an interview with one of the main Apex writers, it is Tom Casillo. And Tom Casillo was just recently went on a podcast on YouTube where it was confirmed on Twitter when he asked where Octane gets his stim. He said that Octane's father owns Silva Pharmaceuticals, and we know Octane's last name is Silva, and that's where they create the stim, a powerful drug that has roots all the way back to Titanfall 1, where IMC soldiers had voice lines where they would say, 1 drop in my coffee and I wouldn't sleep for 2 days.
He's talking about fucking meth.
Pretty much. That's
what it sounds like. Meth from World War II.
I went down a stim rabbit hole, and this stim stuff. So in Titanfall 1, you could use stim in the game, and then in Titanfall 2, they made it to where only robots could use stim because humans had some crazy side effect with it, which is why Octane is like one of a kind to where he uses it in this special way. His dad doesn't care about him at all. His dad's had all the money in the world, so it's like they really don't come into contact at all. So his dad makes the stim, and he just takes it. His dad, there's rumors that his dad knows about it. There's rumors that his dad has no idea. There's rumors that his dad literally doesn't give a flying fuck. Either way, his dad doesn't care enough to go figure it out for himself, so that's where that stim comes from, and that's where Octane gets all of his stuff.
That's pretty cool, honestly.
Yes, it's very, very weird, very interesting.
Don't do drugs, kids.
Very true. All right, this one's hilarious. This one's one of my favorite ones. Crypto's original character model showed him with dreadlocks. True, false, or theory?
True.
That's true.
If it's going to be funny, it's got to be true.
Yeah, it's fucking hilarious. There is a picture. It's on the website Apex Legends Fan Theories, and there is a original character model where he's in the main screen where you choose your character, and it shows him with dreadlocks, and it is by far one of the funniest pictures. I was going to print it out and show you, but I just didn't have enough paper for it. But it was the funniest shit I've ever seen. Crypto with dreadlocks is honestly, he looks kind of sick. If I'm gonna be honest with you, he looks dope. And last one, here we go. Lifeline's heirloom comes from her drumsticks from when she was in a band called Viva when she was younger. True.
That's so specific. It has to be true.
It's true.
I'm guessing true.
It's false. I made it up off the top of my head again.
Damn it, she has Biba all over her shit.
That's why I said it. Yeah.
Oh my
Hire me.
gosh.
Hire me. Hire me, Respawn.
Dude. Crypto with these dreads.
You see it?
Let me see.
Isn't that
Oh,
sick?
fuck, yeah, I've seen that photo.
Dude,
that photo is
so
sick.
raw.
Let me see.
He looks like a fucking deadhead.
Dude, that's lit.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, dude.
They should at least release a skin where he has some dreads.
They should.
Oh, yeah. That'd be tight. I'd
That
be down
would-
for
that
that.
would
Skin
be
with
sick.
dreads.
I'd be down for that.
And that will just about conclude True, False, or Theory. Who has the best record here?
How many points? Yeah, how many points do you guys got?
I have 9.
I have more than Kyle. How many do you have?
I have more than Kyle.
I have 10.
I have 11.
Oh!
I told you.
Brian is the winner of True, False, or Theory. Congratulations, Brian. He's just winning everything.
And he got a handicap because we got a free one because he said.
Oh, he did get that free one.
He did get that
He
free
did
one.
get that free one. But anyway, I mean, it's a fun game, and learning about all this stuff in the lore is very interesting. Did you guys hear anything that surprised you from maybe some of the true sides or the theory sides?
The one about Caustic. I'm blanking on which one
The
it was.
breathing through the mask thing? Or
Yes.
which one?
I really thought...
No, are you talking about that was false.
I know. I really thought that was going to be
He
true.
thought it was true, though.
I really thought... I was like, that makes sense. Like, yeah, he probably had some experiment that fucked up his own lungs and all that shit. Like,
Yeah.
that probably happened.
I think the best one has to be Mirage having to bring in a roommate because he spent too much money on a party ship.
That's
That's
great.
fucking awesome.
That's like the ultimate Playboy thing to do. It's like, hey, I spent so much money on this party ship. Can I like live with you for a little bit, bro, on your couch?
And then the other one that I thought was really sick was just the Flyers and the Leviathians, because that's one of those things where I'm like, how did you think that through? Like, you have a high frequency noise that keeps them at bay, and then it's like your character brings them in.
Well, they use those on rats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They use those like the like ultrasonic thing where you put it in your attic, and supposedly the rats don't like it. Similar concept.
Okay, so is it Leviathan or Leviathan? I've always heard
I
Leviathan.
don't even know.
It
I
goes
have
back
no
and forth.
idea.
It's Leviathan, I think.
I might be wrong.
Tomato.
Yeah.
Tomato, potato.
I might be wrong. All right, well, that'll wrap it up for True, False, or Theory. Let's move on to the next segment of the show. We will see you guys on the other side. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we had Grab My Banner Boxing Championship renamed to Boxing Championship number 4, and boy, was that shit a doozy. We had ourselves a crazy fight here in, it was me, Kyle, Troy, calling the games. Boys, we saw ourselves some matches.
Yes.
It was insane.
We did. Even the fight hour was nuts. We really saw Brian shine, which nobody expected.
Thanks.
We
Thanks
saw
for the
we
support.
saw Baby Ogre lose to Brian and then lose another fight and then come back and actually win his match in the actual fight night. That was amazing to see.
That was awesome.
Just saying, I deserve to be ranked.
We might have, if there's a 10 list, maybe. If there's a 15 list, for sure. But you're near the bottom of it.
I think
I think
work my way up.
Brian has a real. I think
I can work my way up this list.
I think
started
you
off
definitely fight it.
You started off hot.
I'll start off, and I'll work my way from 10 up, and I'll take one.
How about from 15 up?
Is it Sniper Goated at 10 right now?
Sniper Goated's at 10. Also, I'm not sure. I think Nexus might be retiring. I'm not exactly sure because he was number 5. And if that is the case, then Sniper Goated would be 10. Sniper Goated is sitting right outside the top 10 right now because I had to redo the rankings.
He's the 11th.
Okay. Well, wherever the bottom of the ranking is, I will start with them, and I will work my way up, and I will dominate this entire list.
I honestly, Brian, those first 2 fights, you looked fresh. You looked clean on those first 2 fights. It looked good. I was surprised.
Timing.
Especially with Sniper because I watched him fight, and that dude was good.
The biggest surprise to me during this championship, this boxing championship this time, was GameBiz. GameBiz has stepped it up. He's hit another level, and I think he's ready to compete. Like, he's truly, like, before it was one of those, he's good, but he's not Benny. Like, he wasn't at that level of the top 3 fighters. But now I think he's closing in on it. He is at that point. I think he's had a lot of practice get in there, and he's had the determination to get there. I think GameBiz is ready for one of those big fights.
Yeah, GameBiz was GameBiz, we talked about it last podcast, was a guy it's weird because you don't know exactly where he's at. He's kind of like the bridge between the very good and the guys who are trying to make their way up. He is that gatekeeper, and he, like you said, he proved to me a lot in this fight. He went down on one of the rounds, and he was able to fight his way back and get the win. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, and that's the thing that we had always talked about was he had been in, I think, one other event, and he lost in pretty sound fashion. This time he comes out, and he finishes the job, and he does it well. I mean, you got to give him credit.
My biggest thing is I've fought against GameBiz. I've fought against Benny. I've fought against Coochie. I've fought against Alerted a few times. And I've fought against even our first champion, Jimmy, way back. Mm-hmm. And GameBiz, when I fought him before, did not feel like fighting the other two. And that's what I meant when I said it's not Game, it's Benny's Like, he's just not as good as Benny and as good as the other ones. When I say Benny, I mean Coochie and Alerted as well. When I fought Game Biz this time, it felt like I was fighting those guys. That's the thing.
Yeah, Coochie showed out. I really hope that we're able to get Alerted Furball in so that we can see
who's actually number one.
We got to see that coming because Alerted. He's still holding that top spot because he's no one's dethroned him. But at the same time, if you haven't fought for a year, man, like what's going on? It hasn't been a year, but a few weeks. Like what's going on?
Coochie's definitely the interim champion right now.
Yeah, for sure. And let's talk about that final fight because this was the first time we ever did first to win 3 rounds as the winner. And Benny and Coochie had fought before. It went Benny's way last time. It was only first to win 2 rounds. This time, those guys were fucking throwing haymakers.
Yeah, it was lots of exchanges. I think, it very well might have gone Benny's way if it wasn't for the first round where he got trapped in the fence and lost almost all of his health in the first exchange.
Yeah.
So that, I think that was, not only did it steal some of his thunder coming in to the rest of the match, but also, it's just hard to get a round back when it's such tight competition.
Well, Benny was also saying the entire day, like, he just didn't feel like himself. He felt like he was off on that day. And I think that's a big thing. Having that mentality coming into that fight, such a big fight too, it's just... as soon as he was saying that, like, there's a reason I didn't bet on the final round. Like, I didn't bet on Benny on that round. And I'm a huge fan of Benny. I think he's one of the best that we have. And last week I was saying he was the best that we had. It just came down to it didn't happen. He wasn't on his game, and then he let it slip, and Coochie got him.
Yeah,
I think also losing that first round, it just gives Coochie Lord so much more momentum, and then it makes Benny just drop momentum significantly.
Well, I mean, when you're up a round in the boxing, you can just apply pressure the entire second round because you have a round to give at that point.
Right.
Yes.
And, I think that, I don't know for sure, but it looked almost as if Benny got a little flustered because instead of seeing as much tactical play as I think I would expect from Benny, I saw a lot more just charging in, trying to get the first hit and then exchanging the rest of the round.
Yes.
And that might work on a lot of people. But you're doing it against the guy who almost invented that shit in the Coochie Lord because he started that.
Yeah.
Like he's always done that. So when you get into when you're playing into somebody else's hand, it's difficult to come out on top. You're gonna have to. Everything's gonna have to go right for that to happen.
It's hard to beat Coochie at his own game. He's got fantastic timing.
Do we have a character that's completely unbeatable so far?
I really like. I don't think. It depends on who's playing it, but I don't think any character is unbeatable, but I do think that there's a character who stands out above all the other ones, and I think it's Bloodhound. And that's not to say Wraith can't be the best. I just don't think we've seen a Wraith come in and play it the way I like to. There is a young up-and-comer who I think is going to do that, and I will ask that question in a second. But at least in this little boxing ring we've got, Bloodhound seems to be the king.
I think that there's a very underrated one that we saw very good use for recently. Was Mirage. Mirage has had some, with the Lifeline Ultimate being used as barriers, with the walls coming in, things like that, the black hole being a thing, blocking vision. Anytime you can block vision or confuse an opponent, that ultimate for Mirage is very strong for getting just that one extra hit on him. And if you can exchange the rest of the way, I think Mirage could actually be very viable at all times.
I think Lifeline has a lot more potential than we saw too, because in the previous fight night, we saw Lifeline, the new Lifeline meta coming in and looking really scary. In this fight night, I don't think that other than Brian, we saw a lot of really good Lifeline play, and even Brian, he used the care package, I think, a lot more effectively than he used the drone. I think if people can learn how to use that drone more effectively and not allow their opponent to use it, Lifeline might be the strongest.
So let's go through the power rankings of the GMB Boxing Championship. Number 1 is still Alerted Furball, although he hasn't been in the last 2 events. He's been working. Either way, I got to think number 1 in my mind is at Coochie Lord right now. I do believe Alerted is one of the best, but we haven't seen him fight in a while. And so it's hard for me to call him number 1 when I know that Coochie Lord is out there. He's been wrecking people. He is Alerted Furball is number 1. Coochie Lord number 2. Benny Boy number 3. Game Biz at 4. Nexus at 5. Then in our bottom 5 is 6, Baby Ogre. 7 is Midas. Shout out to Midas, dude.
Midas.
This guy just
Midas showed out.
Dude, this dude just gifts us subs for no reason.
Let's go, Midas.
And he's one of the greatest of all time. Big shout out to Midas. Then we've got 8 is Chicken Wing, who's finally starting to get his
rhythm.
His rhythm going. He lost a couple of fights this last time, but I think in the last one he kind of got his head on straight and was like, okay, I'm going to win.
I think a lot of it was nerves, the early round nerves. And then he started to settle down and show what he can do a little bit. Now, this next week, we want to see him do that from the get-go.
Yeah. And then we've got Just Cookie at 9, and Tokir is at 10. Easily, I think Tokir can move his way up into the top 5. We've seen him fight twice. Both were dominant, and both times he used the Wraith properly, and that's what we've been looking for.
It's using Wraith properly in the sense that we say that it's more tactical than always doing it defensively or always aggressively. He changes it up, and he uses that Wraith ultimate and ability in a sense that a little more deceptive, I would say.
Yeah. Let's go through the bets and how we placed our bets this week, because we all bet on these boxing tournament. Troy, I know you got the results sitting in front of you.
I do indeed.
How are the bones shaping up for everybody?
All right, so I am sitting. Well, I'm going to go from best to worst here. So Kyle has 280 bones. I have 180. Wyatt, you have 170, and Brian, the champion of last season, is sitting at the bottom with 115.
That's tough.
I've been here before. I've been here before, and I will climb my way back up.
Brian, what were the bets? What happened with the bets?
I bet on Chicken his first 2 fights.
Tragic.
See, Chicken the first 2 fights, I was like, okay, third fight, I'm definitely going to put 50 bones on my boy Sniper Goated, because he's going to beat Chicken Wing easy. And Troy's like, no, fuck you. Chicken Wing's going to win his third one. And that's exactly what happened. I lost 50 on Chicken. After he loses his first 2, he just shit on me.
But Kotir shit on me.
Tokir?
Yeah.
Tokir, yeah. You earned all that back with Tokir, so
yes.
you're fine.
Yeah, I earned that back.
I made another bet after that on, I think it was game. I didn't have much left to bet at that immediate time. Like, I wasn't really...
Was it
comfortable
because GameBiz won?
I bet on GameBiz.
So you won it back?
I won, yeah. So I lost 2 for which ended up being I think a total of 45 bones. And then I gained 10 or 40 bones or something like that. And then I gained 10 back.
I was betting big on these boys. I was betting fucking big on these boys. I lost my 50, immediately went back and bet 50 on Tokir and got it right back.
I'm a big believer in GameBiz, BBOGR, and then the Coochie Lord. You all know I'm a huge Coochie Lord.
I definitely made some money off Baby Ogre. Yeah. I definitely made some money off Baby Ogre. I didn't put my bet in time for Coochie Lord, but I was going to bet Coochie Lord.
Yeah. Well, BBOGR, I think just because he's the only one that runs the Rampart strat.
Well, he switched it up, and he played a different character. He played the Mirage in the final round to get the win, which threw me off.
Totally,
but he won.
One of the better Mirage plays that I've seen done is when ult was popped, when the Horizon ult was popped against him, he immediately used the Mirage ult to hide in the darkness and run out in different directions. Mm-hmm. I think that's a very, very strong way to do it, because the opponent, the Horizon, had ran into her own ult, which I don't always recommend, to try to punch the Mirage where she knew he was going to be, and she ended up just hitting a bunch of fucking dummies.
Got bamboozled. Yeah.
Yes. And it was tough to watch.
It worked out, and I was just like, oh man, that Mirage ult effectively counters a lot of ults that have visual clouding.
It was so bad that the person Baby Ogre beat left the Discord server immediately after the game was over. Just straight up.
It was a crushing defeat.
It was that bad.
It was pretty bad.
It was that bad.
In the next boxing tournament, I think my number 1 sleeper is Tokir. I got some heavy bones coming that guy's way.
I might drop 100 on the fool. I might drop 100 on
100 bones?
Well, I've never seen a Wraith played the way I want it to be played, and when I see it, I'm like, I'm taking it.
Isn't Tokir's next fight supposed to be, because he's number 10, right?
Yeah.
So his next fight needs to be Cookie to be able to climb the list.
Yeah, so the way we have it set up is you can only call out people who are above,
one above.
So we'll see what happens there. But if one of those fighters can't make it or something like that, I mean lots of things can change.
If you can't show that, that's one thing. I think we're gonna have to start enforcing that, and we need to let Alerted know that if you can't show to a fight, it's gonna affect your ranking. Yeah, it's gonna start affecting rankings.
He's not really worried about that. He's more worried about just having a good time. I don't think he cares too much about it, so I think he'll be fine. Other people may not be though.
You gotta show up.
You gotta show up.
Bottom line.
You gotta fight for your title, man.
And as badly, I like Fluffy, and I've raged, so I know where he's coming from. But you're welcome. back. He already came back. You're welcome to fight again. It's just like I can't put you, even though I know you're better than people. I can't put you up there. You gotta
work your way back up. Consistency, availability is as important as ability.
Availability is a skill. I've heard that said a few times in the NFL. Some guys are good, but they get hurt too much, or they don't show up, or they have attitude issues. And
Jameis Winston.
Dwayne Haskins,
just got cut.
First round pick. So
that's
it's
actually what I was thinking of. I couldn't think of his name.
Yeah. So, but big congrats to all these fighters. Big congrats to everybody at this table for making that production go. Brian fighting people, all three of us broadcasting. It was probably the best one we've had. We had some sound issues. We'll work on those. It's a work in progress. Each week we're going to get better and better.
I want to give a little congrats, not just to the fighters, but to Kyle coming out on top of the gambling as of this moment after that fight. And I want to give him more of a congratulations because a while back we had a bet, and I lost my ass on that bet of getting to Platt. And Troy, do you want to lean forward and reach behind you for a second?
Oh no!
Back in that corner.
Oh, he's got a sweatshirt.
So I made a bet that I'd get Kyle something from the Grab My Banner from the Apex store.
Oh, man.
That's sick. That's fucking
So I got
sick.
him a lightweight zip-up hoodie that
so
is
good.
actually pretty fucking clean, to be honest.
Misfits. Let me see. Misfits, Grifters, Outcasts, and Drifters. That's pretty sick.
It actually seems pretty sick. It's got the Apex Legends logo on the front, small left chest patch, zip-up gray hoodie, very thin, very lightweight. On the back, it's got a freaking sick-ass decal. Would highly recommend going to the Apex store and checking that shit out.
Yeah. Get yourself a jacket, man. I won mine, but you can buy yours.
Sorry about that shipping. Shipping took a while.
It's Christmas shipping, dog.
Yeah, that is fucking
holidays.
dope.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to be moving on to the duos tournament for this week, and then boxing will return the week after that. So we've got a big duos tournament, boys, and unfortunately, lots of team changes going on here. What's going on here? You and Troy aren't together anymore, I hear? Is that what's happening?
Should we describe this as what it is?
No.
This is a messy divorce.
I feel like I'm going through a second divorce. Can
Brian,
you guys please give it to me?
We never annulled the marriage. I mean, we never consummated the marriage. So
we fought together. We fought together.
No, listen, Brian.
And by fighting together, I mean I was so far ahead of you because you took too much time looting.
Brian.
I have a highlight of that on my Twitch.
I understand. I understand that. I'm not comfortable, okay?
You're not comfortable?
Side by side with you yet.
Listen.
And I don't have the time this season to get comfortable. I'm comfortable with Kyle because I know he's a bad teammate and I know what to expect. You're too unpredictable.
How am I? I do one thing the whole time. I get guns and I go and I gun.
Sometimes you're there. Sometimes you're not. Sometimes you're okay with letting me pick up some shield batteries. Sometimes you're getting flanked by two teams. I just don't understand how you think that someone like me who's new to the game is going to be comfortable with that sort of unpredictable behavior.
Asked for one thing, that you stay near me.
I told you I was looting. You saw me looting.
And I stopped and I said, okay, come here. Have you looked at the highlight?
Yeah, I watched it.
Have you?
Yeah.
So you saw me pinging saying there's people on the other side of the wall?
Yeah, there was people on both sides.
No. There was one. They rotated and then another one came.
Unfortunate.
Same direction, same thing.
I also saw you die.
Yes, because my controller literally turned off.
I understand that there are excuses.
Twice?
That's not on him.
That's not on him. What's on him is him not being in there in the beginning of the fight when my controller did not turn off.
I was not ready, and you knew it.
Your controller was going to turn off.
No, it turned off way later than the fight would have lasted. Have you seen the video?
I need to watch it.
You got to watch that video.
You got to watch it because he's literally standing
there.
Like,
I stand.
He's like, oh, I can't go. And the guy just walks up and he's like,
literally, dude, I'm so mad. I was so fucking mad.
So I think me and Kyle have a real good chance of being.
If you think that playing that I play fast, good luck with Kyle.
That's why I'm going to play low.
You guys split, and then you just jumped over to Kyle.
He's homie hopping.
He's homie hopping.
That's what's happening.
You might homie hop to you next.
Damn.
I would if I could. I think me and Wyatt have the best.
Well, here's the thing.
Chemistry.
I was going to take a teammate from this table, but my heart was so broken so fast because literally an hour before we were supposed to turn in our team, my teammate, Mr. Schmaz, said, hey, I think it would be better if we went our separate ways, completely catching me off guard. I was about to take a nap. I couldn't sleep. My eyes were wide open. I was just looking at the sky like, what did I do? Like, what's wrong with me? Did I do this wrong? Did I do that wrong? We got second place, and we only got second by 10 points. I was so depressed. I didn't know what to do. He's moved on to Kyle's old teammate, which I'm sure Kyle, you probably felt some heartbreak as well.
I'm a little heartbroken, but King was like, I literally asked him, I go, so I guess you're Schmozzy's teammate? He goes, yeah, that's what he tells me. Mm-hmm. He literally didn't even know. He was just like, all right, cool.
I don't know what's worse, like them telling you or them being like, you're so insignificant, I didn't even tell you.
I don't know. I mean, I asked him. He acted like he didn't even know, so I think he just figured out later.
We're part of the depressed crew now.
Yeah, a little bit. Tiny side.
But at least you have Troy.
Yeah, I got Troy.
We're going to develop some serious chemistry.
Troy is a giver.
Win. Yeah. I am a giver.
Where
That's
was
right.
this with me? I asked you
You're
every
a taker.
day.
You're a taker.
I asked you every day to come and
Brian's
play
a taker.
and practice with me, and I never got a reply from you. You didn't even add me as a friend.
I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready.
He didn't even. I wasn't ready to get practice.
I wasn't.
That's
ready.
what practice is for.
I have been practicing though.
I'm getting
What?
family
Not with
court
me.
I'm getting
flashbacks.
better.
Yeah, me and Troy are going to
This
practice
is awful.
tomorrow.
Let's go through the teams here. We've got Tokir and Benny Boy, Benny Boomstick as Tokyo Dynamite. Then we've got
That's a
Cookie and
sick-ass
Ellen
name.
Cryptic. They were the winners of last tournament, so they are going to be teamed up again. Got to watch out for them. We also have our wonderful Mama Storm going with Game Biz. Going to see what she can put up. She's been really helping out with the Discord. Let's see how she can play. Then we've got Palmer and Chicken Wing as the Arnold the Chicken. Great name. Awesome name.
Lit.
We've got Bloodhound and Austin Dank going as the Phasing Hunters. We got me and Baby Ogre. I said, hey, who's going to step up and be my teammate? Baby Ogre was like, fuck yeah, I'm going to fucking do it. We're the daddies. Then we've got Schmozzy and King as the dudes who are down bab. Play on words there. And then we've got Kyle and the super producer as the Super Smash Boys.
Lit.
8 teams this tournament. How are you guys feeling?
So confident.
How are the Super Smash Boys feeling?
We're feeling good.
Dude, we're feeling fantastic. Listen,
I picked that name. Troy had no say whatsoever.
I had no say. I feel like it fits us fantastic. I think Kyle's going to be very impressed with my sniper shot. I've really gotten it on point.
I'm excited to see it.
Yeah.
Brian, is he going to be impressed with his sniper shot?
Yeah, considering he'll be a mile and a half away from you.
Yeah, that's the thing, is that I realize that there's no loyalty here. There's no loyalty at this table. No one cares, except for maybe Bab a little bit. But I have to be able to...
calling out your teammate?
Yeah, I know. I'm about to...
I have to be able to contribute from wherever I am, and the Sentinel allows me to do that.
That's very true. But yeah. I Sentinel people from point blank.
Now, Brian will also be in the tournament. He hasn't picked his teammate yet. I also got shut down by Brian. I said, hey, I'll help you out. I won't take the points from it. But he said, Wyatt, fuck you, or something like that. I don't even remember what he said.
Listen, what I said was, I think I can get my own fucking teammate. No, I got a buddy at work who doesn't normally play the game very often, but he's more than willing to. And on top of that, I also got someone in Discord on my mind that I think I'm going to try to reach out to see if they can do it. Because I played with him a few times. Love playing with this guy, but I haven't had the chance to reach out to him. And, hey, is Alerted on a team yet?
He is not.
He does
Alerted,
not have a team.
I would love to jump in now
Here's
with
what
Alerted.
I'll say about
see what's
Alerted.
going on.
Here's what I'll say about Alerted when he's not boxing. He's an Octane main in the good ways and the bad.
Listen, he's an Octane main, and I play fast right up there with him.
Okay.
Yeah, so it'll be 2
play
teammates
with
that are
me
leaving
anyways.
each other instead of just one teammate that's getting left.
We played together before. We played pretty well together, so
They
I'd
actually-
be down to do
Yeah.
it and
I'm
give a run with it.
Using
If
the
not,
term
then I got my
together
own.
very loosely.
That's
Okay,
a
together-
dangerous team, though. That's a dangerous team.
If we're running and gunning like an Octane main, and he's on Octane, I'm on Pathfinder, we can hunt anyone down in the lobby.
They also
want to
have,
be able to escape.
They also have chemistry from when Brian coached him to win that tournament. Because Alerted won that tournament, and
Yeah.
his first thing was like, I got to give a big shout out to Brian. So that's a dangerous team.
And I have not had the pleasure of being able to play with Alerted in quite a while, and I would love to be able to do that again.
What do you guys say for a prize in first place? Instead of doing the raise packs, because those can get pricey every single 2 weeks, what if we did 20 Apex coin or $20 in Apex coins each week?
That'd be lit.
I mean,
Every 2 weeks? I don't feel like that's crazy, right?
I don't think that's over the top. I think we could definitely do that, especially with the support that we're getting from all the listeners.
Yeah.
Helping us with the income from you guys listening to our podcast, watching our videos, and donating on the stream and stuff like that. We can definitely figure that out.
Yeah.
Sick. We'll do that then. So
Well, wait, are we going to do a bracket then next time?
No, not for the boxing.
Just whoever gets first.
It's not for the boxing.
For the duos tourney.
The
duos tournament.
Yeah, just for the duos.
Eventually, I think we should do another bracket for the boxing. Though.
Yeah.
Yeah, in due time, we'll get that next bracket, the next tournament bracket going. But I think right now, I kind of like the way it's going with the ranking system. And you got to climb the ladder to get to the top. I like that idea.
And if you guys are enjoying either playing in the boxing or in the duos tournament, and you want to see better and bigger prizes, if you go over to Rep Sports, you buy something with code Banner, that really helps us out. Also, if you're watching us on Twitch, if you gift a sub or if you sub yourself, that's huge for us. And the more participation we get like that, the more we're going to be able to kick back to you guys.
Honestly, we haven't taken really any proceeds from this show whatsoever.
0.
We've taken none. Everything that we've done either is going to make this content better for you guys or to be able to give back to you guys in the form of the Apex coins or in merchandise being able to go out to you guys, things like that. So really you're just kind of donating to yourself in a sense.
Yeah,
so
that's really all we've used it for up to this point. And then we still got the merch hopefully on the way in smaller form. It's not going to be as crazy because we still have to, get all that worked out, but we still have stuff on the way. All of this money goes right back to you guys. Either way, if you're in a situation where you can't donate, just keep listening to the show. That's all you need to do. Yeah. That's really it. Show up to the streams, watch the show. That helps out just as much.
Yes. Any of that stuff, it all helps.
With that being said, I think, boys, that should just about wrap up the show. We probably will have some big news on next episode when the Fight Night trailer drops. So we'll have a lot to be talking about then. So stick around for that. Don't forget to check out all of the stuff on YouTube. We have a little growing YouTube community. Follow us on all social medias. Join the Discord server, man. That's where all the shit goes down. Follow that. Also, don't forget to use code BANNER at Rep Sports. We'll send you a nice little card if you send us a little thing showing us you got us some Raise Energy. And honestly, Raise Energy is the best, man. Thanks to them for supporting us. This is just about wrap up the show. Thank you guys for listening, and we'll catch you guys next week.
See you guys.
See you guys.